Hello and welcome to Dallas Design Week. I'm interior designer and product designer Libby Langdon, and I'm thrilled that the Dallas Market Center invited me to share my take on top lighting trends with you. Here's what we're going to be seeing in the lighting fixtures category into 2021 and beyond. And I think you'll gain some resource information and design inspiration. So let's get to it and dive into lighting design fun. The first lighting trend we're going to be seeing a lot of is what I'm calling eco-style mix. There's an underlying desire for a lot of us to ground ourselves, feel nature, and a strong outdoor influence. These fixtures can be made up of everything from twine and jute rope in varying thicknesses wrapped around chandelier frames. We're going to see natural fabrics to add great textures like burlap, chunky textured linen, to not only soften the visual feel, but also to soften the light by diffusing it. Bamboo and wood will also be front and center as frame materials in varying shapes. And we're also going to continue to see wood beads. We've seen that trend of the wood beads for a while, but this is now just going to continue with this eco-style mix. But the most current trend in this eco-style mix is just that. It's mixing these elements together on one fixture. So now you're mixing the jute with the burlap, mixing wood beads with bamboo, mixing wood, twine, and linen. It's the combination of these elements all shown together on one lighting fixture that makes this trend feel fresh and new. So make some homemade granola, hug a tree, and get ready to fall in love with a natural trend of eco-style mix. The next trend that I'm really excited about is colored glass. And I think color always can put us in a good mood. The lighting market obviously has been saturated with silver and brass and copper and black. They're workhorse finishes, and they might feel a little safe to a consumer, but sometimes they can lack a little zip and personality that a fixture with color can really inject into a room. So I think colored glass has also kind of gotten a bad rap, something that could look a little dated or old, like a Tiffany style fixture or an over-the-top old world colored chandelier. But this colored glass trend is very current. It's modern and totally on point for today's interior design looks. We're going to be seeing fixtures with multiple colored spheres in circular chandeliers. The glass shapes could also be tier shapes or even elongated rectangular tiles in glass. The colors could be bright and bold like a chartreuse, magenta, or cobalt. Or we're also going to see them in a more toned down kind of subtle color. So you might see a rosy blush, a slate blue, a pale green. But the key with this trend is that the glass is smooth. It's not textured or seated, and the glass shapes are very sleek and streamlined. Some of these fixtures will be showstoppers, also because they can be offered not just as a one-tier chandelier, but we're going to see them in two-tier chandeliers and even three-tier chandeliers, making this colored glass trend a perfect way to make a bold statement in a large foyer, great room, or a space with a vaulted ceiling. It's time for us to all light up our world with color. The next trend I'm seeing is large, oversized fixtures. And it's interesting because this also actually doubles as a design solution for small spaces. A lot of times people think in a small space you have to have a really small chandelier, but it's exactly the opposite. If you have something that has scale and size, visually it draws your eye upward, it makes the ceiling seem higher, and your room feel bigger. So of course these are great fixtures to use in a large space as well. But I think people are just starting to see that they can have that large piece that's going to add drama and a real design moment in a room, no matter the square footage. Obviously, if the ceilings are low, you need to focus on a large oversized fixture that is wider than it is higher. But if you have high ceilings, the sky is the limit. So we're going to be seeing this large oversized trend in large globe fixtures, oversized lantern fixtures, multi-tier tall fixtures. All of them can really be a rock star moment in a room. So we're also going to see more large horizontal fixtures. So they might have elongated arms or even elongated linear fixtures. Those are going to be oversized and quite big. A lot of these oversized fixtures also are in either silver or brass finishes, and they're primarily keeping just one finish on the oversized fixture so it doesn't become too busy or overwhelming depending on the scale and the size. So this trend in lighting is telling us to go big or go home. So go for it. One of the coolest trends we're going to be seeing is what I'm calling vintage chic. It channels that kind of speakeasy, eclectic, cool vibe that appeals to everyone from Gen Xers all the way down to millennials. It's not as refined or structured as mid-century modern. It's looser and it's a mix of alloy materials and metals. So there are brass models, there's gold texture and aged surfaces. And sometimes we're going to see them combined with frosted glass and sleek metal powder-coated finishes. Then you kind of throw in a little accent of leather, black shades, or dark stained wood. That sort of helps give it that updated clubby feel. So these fixtures have a very masculine, tailored vibe. So kind of think gin martini in a cool, clubby atmosphere. It's a young aesthetic, and although there's a lot of metal and black and different textures, it's definitely not industrial. It's a fresh look because of the way the materials are all mixed together. That's what gives it the current feel. I think of the vintage chic trend as cocktail mixology of lighting fixtures. Yummy. Cheers. Another trend we're going to be seeing is the white and gold mix. We've seen black and gold combine quite a bit, and the new take on that is now white and brass or white and gold leaf. Globe and sphere shapes in white and gold are going to be popping up, as well as pendants and cone-shaped fixtures. The white really gives it a new sort of fresh feel. And a lot of these fixtures can come very contemporary, or they can come in a very transitional style. So this look is going to work in a ton of different spaces. The white and gold lighting trend invites you to bring the bling. My final lighting trend is geometric shapes. We've been seeing this trend for a while, but I think the shapes have changed a little bit. So now we're seeing clusters of balls, spherical structures, and also honeycomb. Honeycomb is a big geometric shape we're going to be seeing in a lot of different products, particularly lighting. Also, we're going to see in this geometric trend fixtures in cone shapes and cubic shapes. That's going to be very, very hot. So we're even seeing some spiral chandeliers in varying lengths out of different materials like glass and metal. So the geometric styles are sticking around, but they have a whole new look. So the bottom line is there's so much to see that's new and fabulous in the lighting world. My first stop is always the Dallas Market Center. So many fantastic fixtures and so little time. Happy shopping.
Hi, I'm Shay Geyer with IBB Design, and portable lighting is one of the most critical elements for interior design. There's so many wonderful options out there in our marketplace today. It is like jewelry for your space. So if you feel like something is missing in your interiors, it's probably accessories, which includes portable lighting. In today's lighting world, we are so lucky to have so many different options for both function and style. So you can really give your clients so many wonderful different choices when they're selecting pieces for their room. It's so exciting to see all the new designs and then really some innovative ways that they're coming up with more function for these portable pieces. So when we're looking for lighting, Team IBB at IBB Design, we actually have a rule of thumb that we do not ever purchase a lamp under 30 inches tall for our store, for our inventory. The one exception I would say would be for like a desk lamp or some sort of a task lamp when you can allocate something that is shorter in scale. But for the most part, our rule of 30 inches or taller really hits the nail on the head almost every time because of our soaring ceilings and the grand spaces that we have. So we kind of stick to that 30-inch rule for everything that we look for. So when you're thinking about portable lighting and lamps to bring into a space, and I really want to say that it's like an investment, like I was saying, jewelry pieces for these homes. And so natural stones are one of the trends that we're seeing a lot in portable lighting. So you can see malachite, quartz, selenite, all these gorgeous natural elements mixed with brass and polished nickel. So it really, like I said, it's like jewelry for the space. It just makes a gorgeous statement and really gives you that sort of timeless look too when you're using those natural earthly elements. One of the things I'm so excited about in lighting is seeing mixed finishes, because as a designer, this really allows us to give clients a more timeless and collected look. It makes their finishes and the rest of the home really sort of mesh together. So if you have brass and mixed with, let's say, black, or bronze, which is a trend we're seeing a lot. So it gives you those warm tones into a space, or you can see the brass mixed with the polished nickel, so you get the warm and the cool tones. And again, having a lamp in a space like that allows for the client to have this more timeless, collected look, and it really sort of starts to let them all blend together in the space. Well, I am obviously known for color in my design work. I like neutrals too, but I do love color. Color makes me so happy. 2020 color of the year is classic blue, which I definitely think is a classic. In my book, navy is a neutral. So to see color in lamps is so exciting, because you could take a completely neutral space and add in just a pop of color. It just gives you a nice depth of contrast to a space. Like I said, blue is very classic and timeless. We're also seeing a lot of jewel tones. So you'll see emerald green, even paired with the blues, can be such a pretty palette. But you could have a very neutral sofa and upholstery, and then layer in these pieces, these elements of lamps and portable lighting that give this colorful burst in your accessories, can make a room so much more interesting. So one color we've seen a lot of requests for from clients are various shades of pink. So from blush pinks, you'll see that sort of rose quartz color, to fuchsias even. And I think that's a really interesting way to add a bright pop, a very happy pop into a space. We're also seeing a lot of blacks. So you're mixing like the blacks with like lighter upholstery. So maybe you have a gourd shaped lamp that has black and then a brass base and maybe an acrylic finial. So you get a lot of like really stylish elements. You get some contrast. I think the colorful bases are going to be around for a long time. To me, the most important element to make a neutral interior successful is layering in depths of texture. And so it's so exciting to see these lamps and portable pieces with layers of texture and artisan qualities. It gives you something interesting in the space. So if you think about a monochromatic space, it can be very flat if everything is the same texture and the same tone. So when you're adding in these jewelry pieces to the room, and you have these one-of-a-kind, very artisan quality elements to them, it gives you almost that layer of story, something that sparks your eye, really catches your eye, and gives you something interesting to look at in the space, and gives you some, just a really pretty element to take that design to the next level. So we're seeing a lot of chagrin used. You see it on lampshades, you see it on bases. We're seeing a lot of stone, a lot of cement, and then just sort of handcrafted elements to different bases. So yeah, we're seeing a lot of natural textures layered into this portable lighting. So you'll see petrified wood that can make beautiful long rectangular shaped bases, or really grow with the scale if they want to play with that. And I love the element of this, again, for like an all neutral palette, just adds that layer of interest and depth of texture to the space. I also love it for like a beach or coastal vibe as well, when you have those natural elements that really tie into the area that give you that sort of nod without being kitschy or like theme-like. So I love seeing those. You have the woven rattan, you have all various different elements that people are bringing into giving you texture and that natural elements. So function and portable lighting has really come a long way, and our clients are super excited that these manufacturers are really thinking of technology and how people really utilize their spaces in their home. So where we used to see elements like built-in plug outlets and different USB cords only in hospitality design where you'd see it in a hotel setting, now manufacturers are saying, why not offer that in the home? People are spending so much more time at home these days. So it gives that another layer of functionality besides just your lighting and your task oriented function for the lamp. It gives you another whole layer and really thoughtful, and people are super excited about it.